Welcome back. So today I wanted to give you a bit of a garden update and take you through what we've been working on over the last little while. This project definitely feels like it's taken the longest time, and it's longer than what we've expected, but at the same time it's one of the most rewarding things that we've done here on the farm so far. When we first looked at this area, it was just an empty space with a lot of weeds and not much structure. We knew we wanted a veggie patch, and we could slowly build up over time, something that we could eventually provide food for our family and become a really enjoyable place to spend time. We didn't have a huge budget, so we have been staggering the stages of building this veggie patch. The first thing that we did was leveling the area out. Then we started putting down some plastic that we had from my parents' property. So we just put that plastic down to keep the weeds out. We really wanted to build the beds ourselves, so we made them up of 20 by 50 treated pine sleepers from Bunnings. We really wanted something that would be long lasting and custom made. So these sleepers were perfect for handling all of the filling. The sleepers are a very strong product and very easy to work with, which is good, and they also give a really nice clean look. There definitely was a lot of lifting involved, measuring, cutting, trying to make sure everything was reasonably square, but it's not perfect. But actually I think that's why it's unique and it's got a bit of charm to it, building something yourself. One of the things that I've been learning with this property is that not everything has to be finished all at once. We are constantly reminding ourselves that we are building this place over years, not weeks. So even though we have only completed half of the garden beds at this moment, I'm actually really happy with the progress we have made. Before we could fill the beds, we had to deal with the plastic that was already there. We had previously put down the plastic to keep the weeds down under control while we were preparing the area. So we cut out all of the plastic from the inside of the beds, and once that was all gone, we started building up the layers from the bottom. I've always liked the idea of using materials that we have already around the property, and made sense not to waste any of it if we could help it. The first layer we put down was cardboard. We covered the base of the beds with sheets of cardboard, which helps suppress weeds and grass underneath and slowly breaks down over time. It's a really simple thing, but it creates a nice barrier and adds organic matter back into the soil as it decomposes. On top of the cardboard, we added layers of branches and sticks that we had collected around the property. We have been clearing little areas here and there, pruning the fruit trees we planted, and generally end up with little piles of woody materials, so it was great to be able to use that rather than burning it or throwing it away. The branches and sticks create air pockets, improving drainage, and as they slowly break down, it helps the soil. After that came probably the most interesting part, which was filling the beds halfway with a pile of soil we already had on the property. Calling it soil is probably only half the story, because it was really more like compost. That compost pile had been sitting around for a while. It had lots of branches through it, old lawn clippings, bits of leaves, and all sorts of organic matter that had been breaking down over time. There was some really nice fat juicy worms in it, which my daughter liked to look at and play with. It wasn't the prettiest pile, but is actually full of lots of life and nutrients. Using that pile was a pretty great way to bulk out the garden beds. Without having that huge amount of soil, we would have to pay quite a lot for new soil. We were looking at about, I think, approximately 16 tons if we didn't use what we already had. So it was very satisfying because we were recycling something that we've already had created on the farm instead of starting completely from scratch with the compost in that soil. But yeah, we were building on what was already there. Once the garden beds were about halfway full with that compost-like material, we topped them with some really lovely soil that we got from our local landscaping place. We chose a loam that was recommended for veggie patches. It contains a lot of organic matter and has very nice texture, easy to plant in. When the truck arrived and we started spreading the soil over our beds, it was honestly the best feeling. It felt like the garden was finally coming together and becoming real. It even got better when I got my tractor back from my parents' place. Rather than me shoveling it out, it made it so much easier, and it sped up that process too. There's something so exciting about fresh garden soil that is very, very exciting. I can imagine the veggie patch, what we're going to be growing, especially before we've even planted it, and I guess years to come what it's going to look like. After all that preparation, we finally got to do the fun part, planting. In the last video I planted some potatoes, and it was really exciting to add them into our new veg patch. This actually was the first vegetable we had planted here on this new farm, which makes them feel a little bit extra special. Potatoes are such a great crop, which they are fairly forgiving, they are very productive, and there's something really fun about digging them up months later and not quite sure knowing what's under the ground or where to find the potatoes. Alongside the potatoes, we planted some strawberries, lettuce and carrots. This is actually a really good time of year to get those crops into the ground. The cooler weather is perfect, especially for the lettuce, because it helps prevent it from bolting too quickly. Carrots also tend to do really well when they're planted now. Love getting established before the warmer weather, but I'm thinking about once the strawberries get a little bit bigger, I'm going to add some straw underneath them, just so that the plants, or I guess once they fruit, it's not going to sit on the soil. It was so satisfying seeing those first plants go into the garden beds that we had built ourselves, and have my daughter help too. Gardening has a way of teaching you patience, and also a toddler too. You can spend days or weeks preparing a space, and then once you planted everything, you have to wait, you have to water, you have to check them, you have to pull weeds. Slowly the seeds grow, slowly they shoot. It's a reminder that good things usually take time. On the time note, I'm actually very excited for next month because we have got a lot more planting ahead of us. I'm excited to plant in some zucchini, some tomatoes, more carrots, and definitely some more lettuce. Zucchinis are one of those vegetables that are just amazing. So they go from a tiny little plant to producing more zucchinis than you know what to do with. I'm really hoping we have a really good crop. I love cooking with them. The nice thing about doing it slowly is that we can gradually keep adding as we save up more money each month. Every time we save up a little bit more money, we can buy some more timber, add some more soil, and finish off the other half. We have already picked up some little things along the way that we'll do differently. That's one thing I love about gardening. It's never finished, and every season teaches you something new. Every crop gives you a little lesson, whether it grows beautifully or struggles. So the plan is simply keep building, keep planting, and keep learning as we go. I'm really excited to see what this space looks like in a year from now, or even 5 years from now. It's going to look completely different. But thank you for following along, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and coming along on this special journey with us, that we're slowly building this beautiful place. And have a lovely week.